What are you doing?
So, welcome to the latest in series, I suppose,
Newest vlog technology.
of movie marathons, where basically I rope someone into watching a bunch of films in the same series in the same day and vlogging them.
And I didn't have uni or work today, so what are you gonna do?
Yeah, traditionally there would be alcohol involved, but not
We
this
don't have
time. Yeah, so.
They'll raise eyebrows if you go to the off licenses early, so.
Yeah. But for this one, usually it's something that I've seen all of, so I'm like, oh, let's inflict this on, except for Twilight, which I hadn't seen.
Okay.
But this time, I had never heard of the Nemesis series, and I came across this box set for pretty cheap, and I got out of it that, based on the box, that it contains all 4 movies, and that it's late 80s, early 90s cyborg shit. So I was like, Omega, you gonna watch this or the Feast trilogy? And she was like, cyborgs. So we're watching this.
Cyborgs.
And we just watched Nemesis, the original movie.
It's kind of like it came in halfway. Like, it kind of expects it, like, oh, there's 15 movies before this you've already seen, but there's not. It's just...
Yeah.
And the main character is French for some reason, and they tell you halfway into the movie, oh, by the way, ever since America and Japan merged... Like,
yeah.
Baja California is owned by New America. Everyone has an accent. Nothing is where it's supposed to be.
Yeah. It's like everyone's American. Germans are American, French are American, Japanese are American, Mexicans apparently
Half of this was set on Java. I think it was filmed in Hawaii, but, like, the 2 people who were supposed to have, like, authentic Javanese accents kind of sounded like Waka from Final Fantasy X.
And one of them was carrying...
Hey, brother! Don't worry, we're gonna defeat Sin, yeah? We're gonna defeat the NYPD, yeah?
LAPD.
Oh, that's true. The LAPD, yeah. Well,
And one of those was Karihuyuki Tagawa. Now, if you know Karihuyuki Tagawa, it is...
You know him, right, the show?
It is a shame when that man is not allowed to use his actual accent, because he's fucking awesome.
Crying shame. But no, yeah, so... I don't even start. Like, some people have cybernetics, and they're terrorists.
It's set in the far-off year of 2027.
Woo! So basically in, like, 11 years.
Yeah.
Get on it, everyone. So, sometimes the cyborgs are good, but sometimes they're not. You have a quasi-RoboCop thing going on, but not really.
And there's cyborgs who are terrorists against the government who are humans, except the government is actually being run by robots who are wearing human skin.
Yeah, and the LAPD is like
They're the FBI, CIA, NSA all together.
Yeah, like, it's confusing.
It's like, we're in the LAPD and we're sending you to Java, we're sending you to Baja, we're sending you... It's like, you guys are just a secret service.
It seems that, like,
Interpol.
Apparently this went through a lot of post-production or pre-production messes. That this was supposed to be a lot different than it was, and you can tell. It's like 17 movies, and by the end you get, like, your standard, like, anime character, and you're like, you don't even know why she's there. Like, this whole thing, like, feels like an anime that I've saw in, like, the late 90s.
Yeah, apparently originally it wasn't supposed to involve cyborgs, it was meant to involve neo-Nazis and just be set in LA, and it's like, yeah, I can see that in the same way that I'm pretty sure...
There's a puppy who grows up into a dog, but he gets shot by the bad terrorists.
Yeah. But in the same way that I'm pretty sure Sunset Heights was not meant to be a sci-fi, this was clearly not meant to originally be a sci-fi.
Well,
at some point in rewriting it happened.
And everybody, like, basically, if, a cyborg stubbed their toe, there's, like,
Sparklers!
spark squibs go off, all of, like, things just blow up because they feel like it, but not in Michael Bay way.
Yeah,
like,
it's like just... someone took Shogun Assassin and replaced the blood with, sparklers that you get for Halloween. And they stuck them everywhere.
Halloween here, but...
Yeah. Yeah. And then you had the really random shit where every single woman cyborg in this has a man's name.
Yeah.
Like, okay, the names are, there was Max, Jared, and...
He went to Jared.
What's the other one? Julian. So,
Julian could be a boy or a girl's
Julian
name.
or Max, okay, you could, if you squint, fine.
Or Sam. Samantha.
But Jared?
He went to Jared. There was a cable AdNet commercial a long time ago for Jared Jewelers. That
maybe they were just gender blind with the casting, or maybe there was something that I missed.
Maybe they were just that progressive.
Yeah. They had this thing where this terrorist that he killed he has to try and find her because she's not dead, and turns out she is dead, but her brain's
She's been
put into
downloaded onto like a Nintendo DS. Well, it looks like a DS.
Yeah, so she's in there and she's all like talking to him, being all like, "I'm inside this DS."
And then they
me."
go off various waterfalls and swim down rivers and get shot, and then she's still fine in the end. In
Yeah,
this electronic device that apparently is waterproof, I guess.
This is Julian, and then at the end when they get her to safety, they're like, "Okay, we're going to download her into a new body, but her memory will be lost." And we're like,
she's like, all my programming and all my software, effectively, I will be dead. And I'm like, how does that work exactly?
Yeah.
We don't understand.
what's the point of saving the memory if it's going to be wiped, putting it into a new body? And how can you upload it to a small DS-looking motherfucker thing if you can't put it into a new state-of-the-art cyborg body and have it not be corrupted?
Oh, and did you notice that he had this bomb that was implanted in his heart that was going to go off in 2 days, and then one of the terrorists stuck him with this jammer that when all the lights went out, his thing was decoded, and he had one light left, and then his arm got ripped off, and then, they're in the Marshall Islands randomly because, there's not a big U.S. military base there. Actually, I can't remember if it's the Marshall Islands or the different... Well, anyway. But yeah, so then they're like, oh, and he also fixed the bomb in my heart. Conveniently.
Yeah. And the main character... The main character, okay, he's supposed to be a hard-bitten LA cop. And the most
From France.
Yeah, and the most distracting bit of casting for a hard-bitten cop I've ever seen since Faust, Love of the Damned, and Jeffrey Combs. We've got this French guy, and he's a French guy. Yeah, he's sort of mixture of naturally camp and not acting.
Yeah.
So he's just I am French.
Here's
I am
my
a cop.
pecs.
Hello.
Look at my pecs.
He comes across like a drunken Jean-Claude Van Damme. There's this wonderful scene where they're leaping out of buildings, and then just it cuts these random shots where he's going, woo! And there's a bit where he escapes the building.
He's leaping in slow motion. Oh, I fell down.
Yeah, truly bizarre choices in editing.
And the LAPD apparently can just go into foreign countries, armed to the teeth, and, just shoot everyone.
Yeah. And if you've seen, what do you call it? The terrible vampire werewolf film.
Underworld?
Underworld, yes.
It wasn't that bad.
It was very bad.
I have the trilogy on DVD.
I think there's 7 of them
okay, here's the... No, there's only 4, I think.
Let's check that. I
If
think
you know how many
I think there's at least 5.
But the best part was in the first one when she jumps on the thing and she goes, alright, bam, blah. That first step, okay, that's one perfect shot kind of thing, and that was kind of the best thing about it.
But
we watched one of them in a coffee shop in Amsterdam, at 4 o'clock on a Tuesday, and it was kind of random. As you keep talking, and I'll check.
But in Underworld, there is a very famous bit where Kate Beckinsale pulls out her rifles and shoots the floor and escapes that way. Shooting around her, floor falls through, she escapes. This guy does this. This was made about 5 years earlier, and it's like, oh, someone saw Nemesis when they made Underworld. But he does it to not 1 floor, but fucking 16.
There are 4, like I said. The Blu-ray contains all 4 films.
Okay, I thought there was more.
Told you so.
But he shoots his way through 8 floors. It's fucking insane. And then the editing of this is really, really weird.
It is.
It doesn't make sense. And the main villain is Tim Thomerson from Trancers.
There's an Underworld TV series in development.
Oh.
Now, see, here's the thing about Underworld. I know that this is not what you paid to see, but, you didn't pay, but you clicked to see. Is the fact that, basically, the Underworld script was based off of a campaign, a World of Darkness campaign, that the writers and the people involved in it actually played through. And White Wolf sued them for 54 counts of copyright infringement, and it was all settled out of court. But, if this is the closest that we get to another White Wolf World of Darkness TV series, hey. All right, you keep talking.
You know what happened in they made Underworld?
No.
Kate Beckinsale was married to, I believe it was Michael Sheen, who played the leader of the werewolves. And then she ended up having an affair with the director of Underworld.
Oh dear, oh dear.
And she ended up married to him. But, okay, also you got Tim Thomerson from Trancers being all evil and stuff, but it is really distracting to see Tim Thomerson in a not very good, low-budget sci-fi movie, and he's not playing Jack Death or Dollman. Oh dear.
I don't know if I should tell you this.
Oh no.
A crossover with the film I, Frankenstein, or its sequels, was planned by Kevin Unpronounceable, creator of the I, Frankenstein graphic novel. He stated in a pre-release interview that, in an early draft of the screenplay, Beckinsale would have made a post-credit cameo appearance as Celine, that there would have been Underworld Easter eggs, but none of this was used. The box office failure of I, Frankenstein makes any sequels and so crossovers now unlikely.
Well, I, Frankenstein is just as bad as Underworld, if not worse, so, okay.
But anyway. But yes,
you got Tim Thomerson. It's really distracting to see him because he's...
I wasn't distracted.
You don't know Tim Thomerson.
No, I don't know any... Okay, the only time I've ever known somebody in a movie that we watched is when we watched Brad's movie. And I'm like, oh, there's Brad. I know him. I never know people that we watched. You're always like, oh, it's so-and-so of things and stuff.
Tim Thomerson is in a lot of low-budget, not very good sci-fi movies, but generally...
Allegedly, my pajama trousers will be delivered between the 20th and the 24th. That was really vital information for you to know.
But he usually plays Jack Death, who fights Trancers, or Dollman, who's an alien who is like a badass action hero who's the size of a doll.
That's so stupid. Although I think I did own 2 of the Dollman movies on DVD way back in the day. Never watched them and then sold them, just saying.
But the guy who made this, Alex Pune, he's got issues. I mean, like, Charles Band is obsessed with fucking tiny things killing people. He did Dollman, he did Dolls, he did Puppet Master. I don't know. Puppet Master.
If that's your fetish, write the show.
He did a fuckload of films like that. Alex Pune did the Nemesis films about cyborgs. He's done a movie called... He's currently got in pre-production a movie called Nemesis Cyborg. He did a movie called Cyborg. He did Omega Doom, which was about robots that are played by human actors just wandering around being all robots with human flesh.
Okay.
Which, by this film's logic, are cyborgs.
There's a new game coming out soon about will you play a robot.
No, my point is, Alex Pune has a thing for cyborgs.
It could be his fetish. You don't know.
Maybe, I don't know. I find it confusing.
I find the script bad.
Yes.
And things inexplicable.
Yes.
And the dog should have been a main character.
Yes, and apparently the villain was someone called Sam, who they didn't actually explain who it was, so I decided it was probably Tim Thomerson.
None of this was explained. You just had to, assume that you knew what was going on. There's, was a Javanese, crime syndicate, or basically just a gang called the Hammerheads that were deathly important for some reason that was never explained.
Well, they were important because Karihiro Kitagawa was in charge of them.
I guess. And then there's this anime character who joins at the end who even calls the main character Alex-san. The Java hotel that they're in won't take American dollars, but they will take yen, because apparently American dollars are unreliable, even though America and Japan are apparently the same country now.
Yeah.
What?
So I assumed Sam was who they
I wonder if the original idea for what this became, even though I know that this wasn't the way because you told me it wasn't the way, it seems like that it was some anime that came out in the mid-'80s, early 90s that an American saw and then wanted to adapt into a movie. Because so much of this
with The Matrix.
Yeah, so much of this just screams anime at me. Like the girl at the end, Max. She is coming across like she is being played by someone who's 35, because probably she is, with the attitude of a 16-year-old. She is the biggest anime character. It's like, Susan Foreman. Grandfather, I'm actually 27.
She was, too. And she was really annoyed that she was forced to play the character so young.
Yeah.
But, Sam, because they never explained who Sam was, and because clearly the big villain was...
Actually, it's my old friend Sam from Philadelphia. Go on. Will you do it to me?
Clearly the villain was meant to be Tim Thomerson, yet Sam was the big villain. So, because of the thing with the woman having male names, I just assumed Sam, who they referred to as she, must be Tim Thomerson. Apparently not, according to the credits. So I missed the entire apparent big bad of the film.
No idea what's happening. And there's another 3 movies.
Yeah.
I have to do reading for personality and individual differences tomorrow, and I have a feeling it's going to happen at midnight.
And there's this bit where they jump off a waterfall and Alex, the main character, does a big 700-degree backflip flying backwards, shooting Tim Thomerson, who then with a handgun, who then explodes into a T-800 done stop motion style, like a la the original Terminator.
And for some reason they keep an old World War II era troop carrier plane in the volcano. That's how they make their escape. Some guy who apparently knew that they were coming was in the volcano, in the plane, and they take off via a cave on the side of an active volcano, just saying.
And these cyborgs, you get sometimes where they get shot about 100 times, and you get, a grenade up the fucking face, and they're perfectly fine except for their legs being blown off or something. But then you got the times where a guy got killed by being kicked or stamped on.
And then one guy got shot in the robo-dick at the end, and then sparked fly, and he dies. And I'm like, I don't think
that's really inconsistent with how much kills them.
Yeah.
There's one of them that got killed by, mud slide.
Yeah.
Not as in mud falling on them.
No, you know
but
what happened was he got
woo!
chunked into that thing on the top and then got shot up while he was trapped.
I know, but still, it was.
I don't know. What
I want to go on a slide where it's like you're in mud and you're going like woo,
I bet
woo,
when
having
you-
an action scene.
Well, yeah, you can go on ones like that. They give you a wee little carpet to sit on, and you go wee 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 down to the bottom, and you do it again.
Do that with an action
At
film.
fun fairs you can. But yeah, so I think that if this is the best of them, then I will be really sarcastic and bitchy by the end of this. Yeah, there you go. Things and stuff. So that's been the first one. Let's see our attitude. I got a bit of a sore head, so I'm gonna take paracetamol next. But
Yep, Nemesis 2.
see you in about a hot second, according to your perception of time.